Hey Queens, welcome to my channel. I'm Bailey. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. And today I wanted to rank my Colourpop palettes. It's probably one of those brands where I purchase the most palettes. One of those reasons having to be like it's really cheap and really like just easy to get sucked into some of these palettes. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. If you're new here, please subscribe, hit that notification bell, and everyone hit that like button because it would help your girl out. So let's get started. I'm gonna start with my least favorite and then go to my most favorite. I didn't include the newest Hello Kitty collaboration just because that just came out and I've only worked with those palettes like twice. So there's that. All right, my least favorite, and this kind of hurts me to say, is the Hello Kitty and Friends collaboration that they did for Christmas time. This palette's called So Much Fun. The packaging is very cute, of course, and then the inside was very just lacking. I wish there would have been just a bright red. I mean, it's all over the packaging. She's wearing bright red clothes. You see it on the front as well, and it's just not there. So that's kind of upsetting. I see like the shades from Kiki and Lala, like these kind of purpley shades. But other than that, there's like not much of a correlation. I guess you can kind of see my Melody over here, but there's nothing that's just really correlating with the characters, and that's kind of irritating. Also these top, well, I guess I haven't tried these two, but this one for sure is like more of a topper shade and really hard to work with. I did not appreciate that formula at all. And I don't know, the quality of this one just isn't as good as other palettes that they have out, and I was really disappointed in this palette. Next is the Star Wars Mandalorian collaboration that's like all about Baby Yoda. This is such a cute palette and I do love this color story. However, I don't know what it is. I kind of just find it, I don't always love the looks I create with this. And I think a lot of that just has to do with like I haven't played with these kind of colors a lot. And I just need to find ways of how to use these colors without my looks becoming redundant. It's a pretty palette. I like the formulas in this one. I don't know. I just don't always feel that great about the looks I create with this one. I love this palette. It's just where it's at because the color story isn't my favorite. The Sailor Moon collaboration. Packaging, mwah. Packaging is always amazing. But this color story just isn't something that I'm always into. It's very light, which makes sense. It's a Sailor Moon palette. Japanese beauty is very light and toned down. I like that there are pops of colors. However, I wish there were less neutrals just because like Sailor Moon is such a bright and fun kind of show. I felt like they could have gone a little more all out with it, but it's a pretty palette, just not one that I reach for all the time. All right, this next one is the Honey palette. This is the first Colourpop palette that I ever purchased. The packaging is kind of like just wearing away and is not the best anymore, but that's not really much of the point. I really do love this palette. I think it's a really nice one. It's obviously just a monochrome yellow palette. I love this shade Sunburst. It just adds such a different element to the palette. It's kind of a duochrome kind of situation, and it's very beautiful and really brings a pop to the look. Otherwise, it's just a yellow eyeshadow palette, but the Sunburst shade really just adds something to this. I also wish they would have added kind of a deeper yellowish undertone of brown. This one isn't bad, but I just kind of wanted something deeper, and I think that's like really my only complaint with that palette. Next is the Hocus Pocus collaboration. The packaging is again amazing. I really do love this palette. I have created an abundance of very beautiful looks. A lot of smoky halo eyes have come from this palette for sure. I enjoyed a lot. I just have other palettes in here that I like just a tad bit more, but I love this palette. I think it's really nice. A lot of people didn't like the color story for this, but I thought it was just right for it, but that's just me. Next is the collaboration with Frozen 2. This is the Elsa palette. I did not have the Anna palette because I kind of just have that all over my collection. But this is kind of a color story that I don't really have in my collection. These are some deeper purpley reds with this blue and this bright silver. This silver is stunning. This is a nice duochrome. It's like a white base with a pink shift. This is a pretty duochrome. This is also a beautiful duochrome. This is just a stunning palette, and I love the looks that I create with it, and they're very different just because these colors are just not what I always go for, but I'm always able to create something very beautiful with this palette. Next is my beloved At Forest Sight Raw Beauty Christie collaboration. Can we just, this packaging is so cute. I love it. I love everything about this palette. It's so adorable. I love the shades in this palette. This color story is very similar to the Hocus Pocus palette. However, I will say that this is a much warmer color story than what the Hocus Pocus palette is. The Hocus Pocus palette is very much more of a cool, muted sort of situation, where this is more bold and vibrant and warm and just so nice. Next is actually not a collaboration, surprise, surprise. This is the Little Ray of Sunshine palette. This is kind of just my perfect summer to fall palette. I love these warm tones. I love the bright yellow, the deeper rusty red, this muted like orange yellow sort of situation we had. It's got a deep dark chocolate brown. This, I would say, is probably like a perfect palette for me. Very much something that I go for. If I didn't have so many palettes, this would probably look a lot more used than what it does, but I do really enjoy this palette. It's definitely one of my favorites. Now, I am down to my last palette. This is my most favorite palette that I have bought from Colourpop, and that is the Fade Into Hue palette. This is their newest rainbow palette, and it is stunning. I just love this palette so much. I can't get over it. I use it quite a bit for a lot of my looks, especially in my rainbow series. I use this one a lot. It's just got stunning shades, and I have not had one complaint about it once. I will say that this palette does have quite a few different pressed glitters. That doesn't bother me, but it might bother a lot of people. But I really do love this palette. It is top tier for me just because there is such a variety of what I can do here. I can do a lot. I'm not someone who like is all about neutrals. I do love color more than anything, and just really happy that I have this palette. It is so stunning, and it is definitely my most favorite to use. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I love Colourpop's formula. Well, except for in that Hello Kitty palette. I don't know what it is about that palette, but the formula is just a little bit off in that one. But other than that, Colourpop's formula is really good. And their prices are really cheap. And I know they come out with like an abundance of makeup, and it's absolutely ridiculous. But take a look at what you have in your collection, and then take a look at what Colourpop is selling you, and you can pick and choose what you don't have. You can definitely fill out the gaps of your collection with Colourpop palettes, that is for sure. And Colourpop has a variety of selection of shades, color stories. They have a lot going on with them. And honestly, I think their palettes are only going to get better. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm sure that this collection is going to get bigger because they come out with a lot and I just can't help myself. So I'm sure one day there will be another video like this on my channel. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Y'all have a good one now. Goodbye.